Hey everyone, it's Cheryl from Teaching 2 and 3-year-olds. I wanted to show you some ways that we are adding pumpkins to our circle time during our pumpkin theme, and we're also adding some spiders as well. Now, with our 2-year-olds, I'm still keeping our circle time very, very simple. This group is my youngest group ever. They are all still 2. In fact, 7 of them just turned 2 the summer before school started. So we are about 6 weeks into school, and we now can sing our good morning song.
Can you clap your knees? Clap, clap, clap your knees. Clap, clap, clap. Let me go like this. Clap, clap, clap. There you go. Look at them go. All right, he's ready. Good morning, how are you? Good morning, how are you? It's such a special day. I'm glad you came to play. Good morning, how are you?
And then I can usually do some sort of a quick activity using props. What's working well for this group right now is them holding props while we sing a song. So that is what is holding their attention. They don't have the attention span for me to do anything a little bit more detailed. However, I'm still going to show you some of those more detailed activities because I share my classroom with 3 and 4-year-olds. They meet on alternate days. I'm not their teacher, but those teachers like to use my activities. So I'm going to share with you more detailed circle time activities that might be more appropriate for 3 and 4-year-olds. In fact, you could probably take some of these even into the pre-K. As I've mentioned in some of my other circle time videos, you can always adapt activities. You can always add more. So I like to let you know that because it depends on where your students are right now. So for my 2-year-olds, what I know they're going to love is holding a pumpkin prop. So they can hold these while we sing pumpkin songs and while I read pumpkin books, if I can read a book. That I usually do more like if they're sitting and eating snack, I'll read a book then, or oftentimes my assistant will sit and read to a group of children during centers time. It's been a little bit harder for me to keep their attention while reading during circle time unless the book is super short. But again, as I mentioned, songs with props are working well. So these props, these pumpkin props, are part of my 5 little pumpkins jumping on a bed. And I created this activity when I was doing online teaching when school was closed during the pandemic. And I loved it so much that, of course, when we started meeting in person again, we just kept on doing it. And they hold the pumpkin. So I make extra copies of the pumpkins and I tape them onto craft sticks, jumbo craft sticks. I laminate them and I copy them on heavy paper, cardstock, because I want them to be as durable as possible. And most of these we've had now for I think 3 years and they're still in good shape. Some do get bent. We're still working on handling them carefully, but the sturdier that you can make them, the longer they will last. If you just put these on, copy these on regular paper and that's it, and you tape them to popsicle sticks, they're not gonna last very long. So that's just a little tip from me, and I do mention that in all of my posts where I share my props. So I have the bed, and I chose to put Velcro dots on the back and use my flannel board. But you can also do this, and I'm going to show this in a moment, but you can also do it with magnetic dots on the back, and you can do it on a little cookie sheet or a magnetic whiteboard. And so I hold this up. And another thing you can do is you can actually, if you don't want to have the flannel board and you just want to hold it, sometimes I prefer to do this. This can be a little bulky. You can even do like I do with the 5 Little Monkeys where I have a little strap on the back, you laminate it. But All the children are holding their pumpkins while we sing the 5 little pumpkins jumping on the bed. And then, so I made Velcro on the back. Just be mindful of the hook and loop so that they can attach. And it's a fun prop. It's simple, and 2-year-olds love this. 3-year-olds do too, but this is definitely something that I will be doing with my 2-year-olds. Another activity that we are going to be doing with our 2-year-olds is the Itsy Bitsy Spider. Now I know I'm saying this is a pumpkin themed circle time, but I will put other things in there as well that might not be exactly theme related. So what I did was I took my Itsy Bitsy Spider props, and this is from my Song and Rhymes packet, volume 1, which is on Teachers Pay Teachers. And I chose to laminate and put magnetic dots on the back. And you can do this, again, you can do it on a flannel board instead if you'd like, by using Velcro on it instead, or you can use a magnetic whiteboard and you can put it on there if you want more space. I forgot how much I like using these magnetic cookie sheets. I forgot about this. It was hiding. It got in with some of my other trays, and when I found it, I'm like, that's right, I used to use this quite a bit. These are mini cookie sheets, and you can even get these I think you can get these at the dollar store. And they're great because you can hold them and you can move them around like this. They're easy to transport. So I have the pieces on the cookie sheet. And then there's 2 things you can do. This printable comes with spiders. This spider right here. I make extra copies so that, again, each of the children can hold a prop. I can't stress enough how 2-year-olds love to hold something while you are singing a song or reading a book. They become much more engaged. And I've been sharing that in my Instagram stories. I hope that you are following Teaching 2 and 3-year-olds on Instagram, because I share snippets of our circle time, and you will see how the children hold their props and move them around while we're singing. So this is one thing you can do. And another thing, if you want, is you can actually use little pretend spiders instead. And you can get these, again, I think these are at the dollar store, Target, you can get them on Amazon. Sometimes I'll use these, sometimes I'll use these, and they can go to your favorite Itsy Bitsy Spider song. And also, if you go to my Spotify October playlist, I have several different versions of There's a Spider on the Floor. So if you go to my Spotify October playlist, and I'll drop a link to that in this video's description, I have different versions of Itsy Bitsy Spider and There's a Spider on the Floor, which has always been a favorite. But recently, I found a version that I like better. I just like her choice of words a little bit more. And her name is Kathy Reed Naiman. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And that is in my October playlist. And so that's the one that I play when we do There's a Spider on the Floor. And I love it because I like using, we've already gotten a head start with it. We've used these. But now I'm going to actually give them these little spiders, and they can just use them as we're doing the different motions of the song. So with our 2-year-olds, again, I am going to be doing Itsy Bitsy Spider.
We have the water spout, just like we have over there on the block table. And what is this one? Sun and rain and spider. All right, can you sing with me? Here we go. Hold your spider up. The itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Here he goes. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider, oh, here he goes, climbed up the spout again. Oh, now he needs to go down the spout.
And 5 little pumpkins jumping on a bed.
Because guess what? The pumpkins are jumping on the bed again. Oh, those silly pumpkins. All right, get your pumpkin. 1, 2, 3, jump. Jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 little pumpkins jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mommy called the doctor and the doctor said, no more pumpkins jumping on the bed. Oh, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Make them jump. Jump. Oh my goodness. Can he touch the sky? 4 little pumpkins jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head.
Now let me show you some of the things that our 3 and 4-year-olds are going to be doing. So this activity is from our fall circle time packet. Again, all these links are below in the video's description. And this is 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate. And so you have the pumpkins on this side and then you have the numbers on the other side. And again, I've just folded them out. I laminated them, folded them over, taped them to the craft stick. So this is what I hold. You can have your children hold the pumpkins from the 5 little pumpkins jumping on the bed if you want them to have something too. And what's nice about this activity too is if you don't want to do the song, you just want to use this as a counting activity, you can just use this side and you can just have the children help you count to 5. And another fun activity that you can do is these pumpkin faces. Now I would not have thought to use this at circle time, but when I like to watch and see how our 3 and 4-year-olds use my printables, and they made enough copies of these so each child got their own, and then they had the different colors out and the children came to find the pieces. It was in the middle of the carpet and they would find the pieces that would match theirs, and then they would just put it right on top. So again, you just make enough of the pumpkin faces so that you have enough for each child. They get one, and then you put all the facial features just out, and they find that they look at the color and then they just put it on, their pumpkin. And this is part of our pumpkin packet. And this also can be an independent activity at your table activity area, or you can do this with small groups. Another activity is pumpkin color matching, and this is also in our pumpkin packet. So there is one set that has the text underneath. So it has the color, the color word underneath. So you put these out on your floor like this. Then you make enough copies of the colored pumpkins without the text, and you give them to the children. Just make sure that each color is represented. And then what they can do is they can come up one by one and they can put their pumpkin underneath. And then if you want to take this a step further, you might have different amounts of each color. So after all the children put their pumpkins out, you can ask them, you can count how many are of each color, and then you can ask them which one has the most and which one has the least. This also can be an independent table activity by just having one set of the pumpkin with the text and one set with the plain pumpkins with no text, and that can be on a tray at the table. And again, you can also use this during small groups. And another activity that you can do during your pumpkin themed circle time is some matching numbers. And what you can do, there's 2 different things. First of all, it comes with a set of pumpkins with the numbers on them up to 10, and it also comes with a set that has dots up to 10. So you can do this simply by making extra sets of the numbered pumpkins, and you place your pumpkins on the floor, or you can do this up here you can do it on a magnetic board. You make enough of these so that each child gets a numbered pumpkin in addition to the set that you have displayed. Make sure that each number is represented, and then the children come up and they either match their pumpkin to the one that's on the floor, or they can match it to the ones that are on the magnetic board. You can then do the dots with it. So you can still have your numbered pumpkins here, but then you're giving them pumpkins with dots on them. So they each come up and they count how many dots they have. So the 1, the 2, the 3, or you can put magnetic dots on the back and they can put it up here. So you can either do it where you're matching the number to number or the dots to the number, or if you want, you can do the whole thing dots. That might be fun for pre-K. So those are some activities that we are doing during our pumpkin theme, adding a little bit of spiders in there as well. Make sure to check out some of my other circle time videos. These are circle time tips that I give. Of course, there's my most popular video on my secret for a successful circle time. That was like the first video I did when I joined YouTube like 6 years ago. But since then I've done several more. So I am going to put my circle time playlist link in this video's description. So if you're new to teaching 2 and 3-year-olds and you want to learn a little bit more about what I do and why, feel free to check out those videos as well. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up because that helps it get shared so that more teachers who are looking for these resources can find it. And if you aren't already, make sure to subscribe to Teaching 2 and 3-year-olds on YouTube and click that bell icon so that the next time I publish a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks for watching.